Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be diving into my cash game plays for tomorrow, this Sunday, Week 11 of the NFL season, over here on Draftkings and FanDuel. I'm excited to get into this one with you. Hopefully, you did not miss my tournament takes yesterday. I went ahead and mentioned a couple plays a little bit early in that video, so if you did miss it, no big deal. You're still going to get all the cash plays in this one. So before we dive into this one, please do leave a like on this video. I greatly appreciate your support as always. And if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, please leave them in the comment section below. Whether it's DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, any DFS site, or season-long fantasy questions, I'm happy to give y'all advice when I can. We had our first 3 live streams on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm going to be streaming every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday right around 1 or 2 p.m., at least for an hour and a half or two. Hopefully a little bit longer, especially on like Wednesdays and Thursdays. I should be able to be live for like 4 or 5 hours, hopefully, and then just sit there and talk about all the NFL plays, NBA plays, everything like that. And those 3 days are pretty much a guarantee, and the link to my stream is in the description below, so make sure you click that. Go give me a follow over on Twitch. That way you don't miss my streams when I do go live. Now, for cash games this week, it looks like the Carolina stack is kind of the wave. It looks like the most popular thing this week is going to be Kyle Allen with Christian McCaffrey and with DJ Moore. And that looks like the route that most people are planning to attack for cash. Playing against this Atlanta team, I understand it. I just don't know how much. I don't know if I want a triple stack like that. I really don't know if I want all Carolina players in my cash lineup. I'm okay with McCaffrey and Moore. I'm okay with Allen and McCaffrey. I'm okay with Allen and Moore. For some reason, having the 3 of them kind of freaks me out a little bit. I think it's just because it's just weird. I hate playing cash games where I'm relying on one team, basically, in a stack like this. But the one thing about it is there is a strong positive correlation that we get by playing Brian Hill, the opposing starting running back. But it just turns into a full game stack, and it really turns into a GPP lineup, in my opinion. So definitely a little bit on the fence of where I'm going to fall with this one yet. I would prefer to be able to get off Kyle Allen and play Drew Brees against that Tampa Bay defense. So maybe doing something like that, and then we can go. It looks like Emmanuel Sanders is probably going to end up sitting tomorrow. Adam Thielen already ruled out, and then George Kittle is already out as well. He said he's going to try to play. I still am not sold on that. When did that come out this morning? That came out yesterday, 1 o'clock actually. Yeah, it looks like Sanders apparently said he's going to try to play. We'll see how that goes. We got to keep an eye on that because if he does not play, we will be playing Deebo Samuel in all formats without a doubt. That will be a thing. But if he says he's going to play, maybe he's going to play. Either way, though, over here at tight end, if he doesn't play, like I said, we're probably going to be playing Deebo in all formats, but Ross Dwelley does deserve a solid look if Sanders and Kittle are out. So definitely keep Ross Dwelley in the back of your head at 3,400. And then Greg Olsen is actually supposed to be one of the higher-owned tight ends as well at 3,900. At tight end this week, I want to pay as far down as I can. I'm looking at Ryan Griffin at 2,900. I'm kind of eyeing him pretty hard at this point, to be honest with you. With Chris Herndon put on IR, I think it's worth a shot to go with Ryan Griffin at 2,900 and hope that he can do something against this weak Washington team. So I'm definitely okay with Ryan Griffin in cash games and in tournaments, but if we go back over though to let's grab a defense real quick just to give us like a salary idea. I really like the Panthers defense. We're not going to play that in this lineup. I mean, we got enough Carolina. That's why we're taking Drew Brees. If we want to play kind of a cashier defense, the Saints defense is going to be pretty popular. Everybody knows Jameis Winston's going to make mistakes. I personally don't want to play them just because I think that game's going to shoot out. But I think the Patriots defense is actually pretty solid for cash as well. I know they're playing a decent Philly offense, but at the same time, I think the Pats D at 3,500 is fine. 5,750 remaining. We got to go for a wide receiver and a flex. We could do a few different things here. This is where it's going to become. These are the plays right here that are really going to determine whether or not you finish in the cash this week. I'm looking to pay down one more time with somebody like D.D. Westbrook because it's going to allow me to get up to somebody else in my flex like Josh Jacobs. And those are the plays that I'm trying to make. And I think Westbrook's a pretty solid play with the return of Nick Foles. Josh Jacobs no longer questionable. I think that's a pretty decent cash play overall. D.D. Westbrook probably being the least common out of, or the least popular out of all those all the players over there. it does allow you to get up to Josh Jacobs as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at over here on DraftKings. And then over here on FanDuel, I really don't have anything different for you guys. I mentioned a couple guys. These guys were in my tournament takes video because I think they're just too cheap. I think John Brown is actually a viable cash play over here on FanDuel. I think DJ Moore is a near lock over here on FanDuel. Just at these price tags, it's hard to ignore them. And then again, Deebo Samuel, 5,600. If Sanders is out, then he is a must play for me. And then if you also want to keep an eye on this, I haven't checked this morning. I don't know if anything has changed yet with the Cincinnati team. A lot of people are scared to play the Cincinnati guys. I get it. I understand. Alex Erickson was the one I was looking at. AJ Green ruled out. I was concerned if Alex Erickson was going to play. If he was ruled out, I was actually going to go ahead and tally up Auden Tate as a decent cash play, but with Erickson in, that changes that. So the only piece of that game I really have interest in is Josh Jacobs. This New England Philly game is pretty interesting. If I'm going to play anybody in this game other than the Patriots defense, it's probably going to just be Julian Edelman out of this San Fran game. Again, keep an eye on that Emmanuel Sanders injury. Definitely going to be looking to play Deebo in cash and in tournaments if Sanders and Kittle are both out. Even if it's just Kittle out, if it's just Kittle out, I'm still okay with Deebo, but I think I might just lean towards Ross Dwelly there just because he's going to get all those tight end snaps and tight end looks. And I want a lot of this New Orleans Tampa Bay game. I mentioned that in my tournament video yesterday. So make sure you give that one a view if you have not already. Check it out. See what kind of pieces of this game I'm going with and where I'm filling them in at. I'm not really looking for this Jets Washington game too much in cash unless it's Ryan Griffin. And then Denver Minnesota is a tough game to avoid because you really want to get Dalvin Cook. You really want to get Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know where I'm going to fall ultimately. But, I mean, it's really, really tough not to want to take one of those guys. Zeke's in a great spot on the road playing a Detroit team without their starting quarterback. He's probably just going to absolutely feast. Dalvin Cook playing a Denver defense that we saw Leonard Fournette exposed for over 220 yards. There's a lot of good running backs. If I could just get all three of these top running backs, that would be ideal. But, I mean, it's just not really going to happen. What would we have to do to get these top – I went Michael Thomas, sorry. What would happen? How possible is it to get these top three backs? Let's go tight end. Let's go Ryan Griffin at 2,900. I think that's probably the best value at tight end. Defense, we're gonna go play the Cardinals. Maybe 1,500, whatever. Let's see if this is even possible. It's really not. Like, look at this, 4,300 QB. I mean, we'd have to go Driscoll or Finley. Let's go like. Driscoll maybe 4,600, wide receiver 42s. So it's a thing, but I mean you're not going to be able to fit it in. Definitely not in cash. I mean Deebo's going to help us save a little bit. We could go with D.D. Westbrook maybe, and then go back down to Ted Ginn, Hunter Renfrow, Alex Erickson. I mean, it's just tough, and the reason I'm bringing it up isn't because I think that's a good cash play. It's just really hard to get even two of these top running backs in, and they're all in great spots. So I don't think I'm going to be able to fade Christian McCaffrey in cash in way too good of a spot, but I did want you guys to know where I stand at running back in cash games. I'm going to want one of these big threes at least, and then Josh Jacobs. And then kind of going back to the game summaries, though, Houston-Baltimore is likely to be a pretty intense shootout, so definitely okay with any pieces in that game. Obviously, guys like Will Fuller, Marquise Brown, more GPP plays. Lamar Jackson is a really safe cash game quarterback. Buffalo and Miami. I already mentioned John Brown over on FanDuel just because of his price. I think is fine in cash. And I think John Brown could be in for a monster week this week. And then coming over to Jacksonville, Indy, I think Fournette and Marlon Mack are always going to be viable in cash just because of their volume. This week, not so much because of these other high-price and mid-price running backs. I think that Josh Jacobs, Dalvin, Zeke, and CMC are just in way too good of spots. Not to mention Alvin Kamara is cheaper than Leonard Fournette. I know he's playing that tough Tampa Bay run D. He's not a cash play by any means, but I mean you can't ignore 7,400 for Alvin Kamara. And then obviously I talked about this Atlanta-Carolina game in depth. And then out of that Dallas-Detroit game, I really only have interest in Zeke for cash anyway. But I will leave you guys with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to do something a little bit different and kind of break down every single game and the pieces I'm interested in cash. Just because I think that it's a good little summary. That way you guys kind of know where I plan to attack each game, my favorite pieces of each game, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow with my Sunday Night Football Showdown video. I'll be breaking down the Sunday Night Football Showdown slate, going over some of my favorite plays for cash and tournaments in that video. I hope to see you guys there. And again, I will be live at the latest Wednesday around 2 o'clock over on my channel on Twitch. It was really fun. We had about 20 of y'all out there. I sat there, and it was really interactive. You guys get to sit there and type in the chat, and I talk about the players that you're asking about, and it's really, really fun. So definitely come out if you have not already. Again, I might stream before then, but at the latest Wednesday at 2 o'clock, so make sure you go give the channel a follow so that you get a notification when I go live. But I will see you guys tomorrow morning with my Sunday Night Football Showdown video. So good luck to everybody if you're playing any college football DFS bets or anything like that today. And then if not, I'll see you tomorrow.